Sorry. We went a bit too hard this weekend.
Yeah, those Pillsbury Crescents were a bit on the too buttery and flaky side.
But what about all that green Jell-O we consumed?
No, I don't think there's anything in those. All the fraternity people were cheering about how tasty they were.
Oh, sweet and innocent Angelo. What about the guy in the leprechaun?
Hey, on that note, from Ball State University, The Real Deal starts now.
Welcome to another efficacious episode of The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm Eli Brunsman.
And I'm Angelo Oriema. This week we have Abby Perry with the top 5, Rob Segovia with a music review, and Rob White branching into something surprisingly different.
Rob White, no! What about Rob Squared?
It's the end of the universe. Everyone strap in and get ready because we have 4 segments until the end of the world.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Angelo. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Maybe Rob has finally found his calling.
Lies, I tell you.
Well, maybe if someone else talks about music this episode, the universe won't fall in on itself. Here's Abby Perry with her Ariana Grande top 5.
Lies.
In 2017, tragedy struck at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester. Being such a young artist going through this, people would typically expect her to take a break from music for a while. However, Grande posted a video of herself singing in 2017 and captioned it, "See you next year." We can only imagine this means a new album may be coming soon. In honor of her strength in getting through this and making new music, I thought I would give a rundown of the top 5 Ariana Grande songs. This is all based on my opinion. Number 5 would be Tattooed Heart. This one isn't one that got played a lot on the radio, and several people don't even know it, but it is a very pretty song. It is a slow love song that really showcases her true talent. There isn't a lot of auto-tune features going on, and she sings from the heart. This is a good song to put you in your feels. Number 4 for me is Daydreaming. This is another slow one, but this song is one of those songs you can just belt out in your car when no one is watching. This girl really knows how to write love songs. Number 3 is one that always makes me dance, Problem. This song has a really fun beat, and it is one of the ones that my friends and I used to always play really loud in the car on road trips. Iggy Azalea raps in this song, which is always a fun time to do your best imitation. Coming in number 2 is one of her most popular songs, which is Into You. I don't know what it is about this song that I love so much, but I think it's the feeling that I'm an instant hip-hop dancing star when I hear this song. And number 1 is her collaboration with Future, Every Day. This song appears on the playlist I listen to at the gym. It just pumps me up every time. I always run faster or do more push-ups or whatever when this song comes on. As someone that has never really been a diehard fan of Ariana Grande, I certainly do like a lot of her songs, and I am highly anticipating her upcoming albums. I respect her for getting back to work so quickly, and I know a lot of her heart will go into her upcoming music. That's all I have for you today. I'm Abby Perry.
Thanks, Abby. We were so into your segment.
I'm sorry, Eli, I can't partake in your episode of puns this week. The only Ariana Grande I know is from Victorious.
Yeah, I guess she was fantastic on that show.
Yeah, to be fair, she only had to stay perched on Robbie's arm the whole time. She had a really weird voice.
Are you getting people confused with Muppets again? We already had to show the difference between Miss Piggy and Kyle.
But they look so alike.
And people say I'm more childish.
Psh, no one's more childish than Childish Gambino.
Take it away, Tyler. May the strength of the universe be with you.
No.
Whether you know him for his acting, for his stand-up, or for his music career, you cannot deny that California native Donald Glover, also known as Childish Gambino, has talent. Today, however, I'll be discussing the latter of those 3, his music. Going under the name Childish Gambino, which he got from a random rap name generator, he has shown that he is not just an average, ordinary mainstream rapper that we see in the media today. His larger break into mainstream audiences with his song Redbone, staying in the top 100 Billboard charts for 35 weeks, has made Gambino a household name. Being a fan before he went mainstream, I'm here to give you my top 5 Childish Gambino songs. Sorry everyone, but you won't find Redbone, Sweatpants, or 3005 on this list. While they are great songs, they just didn't make the cut. At number 5, we have Me and Your Mama. Now, while Redbone didn't make the cut, I do have one song from his album Awaken My Love on here. While not gaining the same success as Redbone, Me and Your Mama is a great example of the talent that Glover brings to all of his work. With his love of the guitar coming in on many of the tracks, especially on this album, providing us with a soul track that gives me chills every time I hear Gambino come in. Me and Your Mama is 6 minutes of pure entertainment and power that will leave you shook. For number 4, I have You See Me. Showcasing Gambino's rap skill, especially in regard to his work as a lyricist, we have a track that is inventive, even though he may come off as just another cocky, typical rapper in this song. I find great pleasure in listening to this song when I need to feel powerful or to help get me through a workout. His hate-spitting lines on this track is definitely something that you don't want to listen to with your mama, however. Number 3 is Pop Thieves, a more relaxed and peaceful look into the mind that is Gambino. While he's not afraid to talk about how he feels in his love life, Gambino brings something new and inspiring to this track. Featuring vocals from Jaden Smith, Pop Thieves is definitely one of Gambino's slower hits that stays with you throughout the day. It's definitely a track that produces some relaxed vibes and would absolutely set the mood for spending some quality time with your significant other. On to number 2, we have The Worst Guys. Featuring Chicago native Chance the Rapper, the song seems like yet another one of Gambino's classic talking about himself rap songs, but then it quickly becomes something much more than that. We hear relatable and calming verses followed by the last third of the song where the instrumental picks up and lets us feel the vibes that Gambino must constantly be feeling on stage during a performance. Gambino's love for the guitar comes back heavy in this track and is only beaten out by our number 1 spot. Zealots of Stockholm, free information, is taking the gold medal today, providing us with not only Gambino's soothing, slow, chill vocals, but also showing off his rap skills right in the middle of the song out of nowhere. This track is scary good, and I mean that literally. When I first heard this song, I was terrified. The song then mellows back out to a chill vibe we had at the beginning, and it's a nice callback to both thirds of the song. Rapping over the instrumentals from the first third makes the track something truly special. Well, that's going to do it for me. I've been Tyler Landis, and I always will be. Back to you, Angelo.
Thanks, Tyler. But there's just one problem. You know, you can't handle the truth.
I thought we got rid of the truth.
No, Eli Brunsman. The truth will always prevail.
Everybody, welcome to the 3rd episode of The Truth. You might not have seen our 2nd episode. We only posted it on our very obscure video hosting site, angelosvideos.bit.com.onion
/Red Docket.
Red Docket. This is only on the dark web. Angelo keeps a lot of videos on the dark web that we really shouldn't talk about, so let's move on.
Let's be on anyway. This is our 4th episode.
Okay.
Because we also rank the top 5 ramen flavors after Jay Field said there was the correct.
Yeah, he said that shrimp ramen was good, and then I'm like, no, it's not.
Not even crack top 5.
No, not even. No, like spicy beef chicken. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler Landis just gave an opinion about Childish Gambino, and again, we respect opinions at The Real Deal. We're all opinionated people, but sometimes you're wrong, so we just need to come in. We're the wrecking crew. We're the Mythbusters. The Truth Busters, if we're busting the truth wide open, and we're going to give our top 5 Childish Gambino songs. Now we have 3 criteria that we're judging these songs under.
Now we're going to rank these songs by energy, variety, and lyrics because that's how you rank music.
Yeah,
I think these are the 3 most important.
Those are the 3 things in a song.
I don't know. I don't think there is anything else with music.
No.
It's energy. If it doesn't have energy, is it music? No.
No.
If it doesn't have variety, is it music?
No.
Does it lyrics?
Yes. Well, it's bad music if it doesn't have lyrics.
It's not even music in my book. Instrumentals are garbage.
Okay, you're right. That's only for elevators and like really old people who are dying and they don't even understand the like English language anymore.
Oh yeah,
because of their dementia-rattled brains.
They're disgusting.
I'm doing okay. How's everyone at home? So number 5, Redbone.
Redbone, obviously, it was in Get Out, a funky, fresh beat. And I like that red is in it. That is our color. Gets bonus points for the color red, and we all have bones.
We do.
I relate to that.
Our bones aren't red, which is an interesting image. Like, why are my bones red?
Our bones are white. What's the message he's trying to send?
It's really
It's the
deep.
complexity. But you know what? Complexity is not one of these.
Well, that could
so
fall
that's
under
why it's
variety.
that's why it's number 5.
Okay. So number 4.
A song with
Sweatpants.
more energy, variety, and lyrics.
Yes.
Okay.
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants. Gotcha. I wear those.
Yeah. Sweatpants is good because
Uh-huh.
it's the title of something that I know.
Lyrics are good.
Well, what's your favorite pair of sweatpants? My favorite pair of sweatpants is, well, when my ex-wife walked out on me, I was like screaming and crying and like clawing at her on the floor. Please don't go. I love you. How am I going to raise these children without you?
Yeah.
And I managed to pull her sweatpants. Luckily, she was wearing athletic shorts under her sweatpants. She was ready to run away from me as fast as she could. So I managed to get her sweatpants off before she left. And you know how women are, they look like big old sweatpants to be comfortable in. So I have a giant pair. Well, it's a little bloody. I have to admit, I haven't washed them. I don't have a laundry machine because, I'm living on the street now ever since my wife left. But I do have a pair of sweatpants. They're very comfy. What's your favorite pair of sweatpants?
My grandpa gave them to me.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
All
Number
right,
3.
next pair.
Redbone, right?
You know what? Yeah,
it's Redbone. We had to think about it. We had another idea.
But here's the thing about Redbone, is that why is it red when our bones are white? These are the things that keep coming back to
Why
Redbone.
isn't it called Bone Red? It's a red bone. It's very deliberate.
You see, here's the thing, is that when I listened to Redbone the second time, I thought it had a little more energy to it.
Okay.
Not as much lyrics, but I prefer energy on the hierarchy of what's important in music.
Yes. Okay, so number 2 is something that I put in there. It's Redbone.
Redbone. That's what I thought.
Because
Okay.
the third time I listened to it, I found a lot of energy and variety.
It was in Get Out. Did you see Get Out?
It wasn't. Remember Get Out?
Was it in Get Out?
It wasn't Get Out. So Get Out. So Get Out is a movie that came out in 2017. It was directed by Greta Gerwig, and it's about a young girl in San Francisco who's learning the way, and it leads up to her high school graduation. Go see Get Out, directed by Greta Gerwig.
It's a rabbit.
Oh, what's this?
Get Out.
Get Out, Rabbit? Have we busted something wide open?
He has so many layers to his songs.
Oh my god, it's like it's a rabbit. Okay, so number 1, we think it's pretty obvious to
You know
any
what,
viewer.
I could make a petition for Redbone though.
Okay.
Before we say it's obvious.
It's an honorable mention. Let's make an honorable mention section.
Okay.
And it's Redbone.
I think, can we put We Are the Champions by
We Are the
Queen on
Champions by Queen. And the main Indiana Jones theme. Indiana
Indy.
Jones. Indy. So who doesn't love a good swashbuckling adventure? And Redbone again. 'Cause good job, Redbone. So number 1, it should be obvious to anyone who's watching, Dangerous Woman by Ariana
Oh my
Grande.
god, it stole it!
Redbone.
Dangerous
Oh,
Woman, everybody! Dangerous Woman comes in here, and from the shadows comes in. Spoiler comes in here, and it gets the rabbit. It gets the rabbit,
Yeah,
ladies
it
and
gets
gentlemen.
the carrot. Ariana
We all
Grande
knew it
gets
was
the
going to be
carrot.
Redbone.
We
We all knew.
My ex-wife called me a dangerous woman, and by dangerous woman, I mean
Danger.
dangerous man.
This
By
is
dangerous
danger.
man, I mean a threat to the safety of her and her children.
This
so
is
that's
danger.
why I have to be 100 feet away from her at all times.
This song has so much energy, so much variety. The lyrics make me feel dangerous.
Yes. Well, it's saying that she is a dangerous woman.
One on
and I
energy.
feel like the dangerous
One on
woman.
variety.
Because I
Three
found
on
out
lyrics.
exactly where on the street I could stand in front of my wife's apartment complex with binoculars so I could stare in and not break my court-ordered restraining order. So I listen to Ariana Grande all the time when I'm stalking women.
That's really good.
So that's the truth.
It's good to have some.
Have a great night, everybody.
I didn't even know Brandon was married.
Well, he's not. I mean, not anymore. Were you not paying attention, Eli? Come on.
I can't. I can't do it. I need a commercial.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, Real Dealies.
If you've been keeping track, we are 2 segments away from the end of the universe as we know it.
But Rob is talking about something you like, Angelo.
Rob was talking about how much I hate the circus?
No, the Blackhawks.
Well, that's right. Now we're talking. You know, I always knew that the real deal should be a sports show.
Still no. He's talking about music at the games.
Oh. Well, it's still mentioned. Take it away, Rob.
There is something so electrifying about going to a sporting event and bonding with thousands of fans, all singing along to the same tunes, anthems, and chants associated with your favorite team. When the Chicago Blackhawks were making their historic 2010 Stanley Cup run, they were powered by Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and Duncan Keith on their way to a 4-2 series win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Chicago played host to 2 million people at the downtown parade. They went on to win 2 more Stanley Cups in 2013 and 2015. What is most memorable about the 2010 trophy is going to one of the playoff games and hearing the infectious song after each goal. That song was Chelsea Dagger by Scottish rock band the Fratellis. Chelsea Dagger is the noteworthy tune from the Fratellis' debut album Costello Music. Powered by singles Henrietta, Flathead, and Whistle for the Choir, it was no wonder why brothers John Barry and Vince Fratelli won the 2007 Brit Award for Best Breakthrough Artist. Catchy hooks and fun lyrics coupled together were enough reason for me to check out Here We Stand and anxious for the releases of then upcoming projects We Need Medicine and Eyes Wide Tongue Tied. However, with each of them, none had the impact of a Costello. There were songs on each that I liked, but none which I loved. Then back in November, my friend Becca sent me the link to The Next Time We Wed, the single from their new album In Your Own Sweet Time. It was heaven. I thoroughly enjoyed the song, as the band went for the catchy lyrics and simple melodies, which were so prevalent on Costello music. But the sound was different. Good different. It was a sound which continued with I've Been Blind, Stand Up Tragedy, and Star-Crossed Losers, but not lost on the rest of the long play. This was the most consistent they've been since 2006, and it showed. The band had the opportunity to work with their Costello music producer for this release and found themselves and their touch. With more pop appeal and funk grooves, the singles were anthemic in bridge and hook sequences, a quality which gives the Fratellis a special place in music. It's one thing when your fans can memorize lyrics after repeated listens and have them prepared for concert sing-alongs, but when a band can effectively master the earworm, it works wonders for attracting new fans. In Your Own Sweet Time was nostalgic. It was beautiful. There's something to be said about happy places, and the playthrough was an experience that made me jump for joy, smile from ear to ear, and dance in the comfort of my own room with the music blasting through the speakers. Looking forward to their May 11th concert in Chicago, I'll have my Hawks jersey on and one goal, to learn these new tracks. For The Real Deal, I'm Rob Segovia.
Thanks, Rob. I give that segment a hole in one.
Eli, that's
Touchdown.
No.
Goal.
No, closer.
I'm calling an icing on that one.
That's a really weird hockey fact for you to know about.
Oh no, I just really love cupcakes.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay, before this derails even further, let's move on to the next segment. Madison?
Thanks, Angelo. First off, this movie I'm about to review is a beautiful masterpiece and everyone should watch it. Okay, now that that is over with, onto the review. Your name swept across Japan, China, and the rest of Asia as the most popular anime of all time, then came all the way over to America and blew everyone away. The film itself earned more than $326 million worldwide, which, according to the internet, made it surpass the extremely popular Spirited Away. From director Makoto Shinkai, Your Name centers around high schoolers Mitsuha and Taki, complete strangers in 2 completely different living situations across Japan. They've got a countryside studio scenario going on. The back of the DVD sleeve says this: separated by distance, connected by fate. I know, sounds like a sappy romance. Maybe a new spin on Romeo and Juliet. Not the case, I promise you. This is a film unlike any I've ever seen. It does have a Freaky Friday vibe, but don't worry, it's 10 times better. Hint, pay attention to the beginning, because one night these 2 teenagers swap places, as in they switch bodies. Mitsuha is in Taki's body, and Taki is in Mitsuha's, which is how we are introduced to the characters. What's great about this film is that they don't come right out and say that's what happened. It's all about paying attention to the clues. This movie isn't predictable in any sense. The switch keeps happening randomly, and these 2 slowly imprint on the others' lives. While the movie prepares for one climactic event centered around a comet, however, I would say the main element of this film is time. I don't want to give too much away in terms of plot because it truly is something you have to witness for yourself. It's an edge-of-your-seat surprise. So instead of plot, I'll talk characters. The development of the 2 main characters is extraordinary because as they learn about each other, you're learning more about them. Taki is a compassionate hard worker with a temper. Mitsuha is a determined small-town girl who wants something more. The passion and the chemistry of these 2 characters makes it such a realistic companionship. You want, no need these characters to finally meet.
Plus, there's an abundance of A+ secondary characters. But besides the characters, one of my favorite aspects of this film is the design. For an animated film, there are so many stunning shots. I've never seen a more beautiful sky with a comet shooting across it, or the detail in the town or city, the leaves on the trees, or even the reflection of the sun on the water. It's all breathtaking. If anime has something going for them, it's the design and detail they put into the product they create. You can tell how much they care and how much they've worked. This movie in particular is some of the best animation I've seen in a long time. It's so realistic, but at the same time whimsical and dreamesque. It's just stunning, I can't even put into words. The movie hands down deserves a 10 out of 10. There's no question. Sub or dub aside, it's great. Plus it contains one of the, in my opinion, greatest plot twist of all time. You never see it coming. So if you're feeling low in inspiration, please go watch this movie. It's magnificent and mind-blowing. And that's all I have to say. So until next time, I'm Madison McGill. Back to you, Eli.
Thanks, Madison.
Oh no, Eli, it wasn't a music review. There's no saving us now. We're all gonna die. I just got an alert and there's meteors destroying villages left and right. Kyle is the only pilgrim left.
Why is that even relevant?
Because he'll die alone, Eli.
That was a given. But instead of no one liking him, it's just that everyone else is dead.
But who will run his soap churning business?
We'll find out after the break.
If we live that long. Whew, that was a close one. Kyle only lost one finger, guys.
But that was his last one. His business is destroyed.
Oh well. Now, get ready for the greatest segment in Real Deal history as Rob White reviews not music, but the new Avengers Infinity War trailer.
Take it away, Rob.
Marvel's at it again, guys. With their highly anticipated film Avengers Infinity War scheduled to be released this upcoming April, the movie studio dropped a bombshell of a trailer last Friday, which is already breaking records and garnering millions of views and shares within the first couple of days. If it's one thing that Marvel is amazing at doing, it's getting the public hype for a new movie. Now, I grew up reading comic books, and yeah, I was a huge fan of Superman, Batman, and Wolverine, but Marvel is actually getting me excited about characters that I really didn't care about when I was a kid, like Ant-Man and Doctor Strange. This is an example of the ridiculous influence Marvel has on consumers. And this trailer number 2 for Infinity War is absolutely no exception to that. The trailer starts off with the characters from different Marvel movies and shows them interacting and preparing for the arrival of the evil villain Thanos, whose sole purpose is to destroy half the universe. As the rest of the trailer progresses, you continue to see all your favorite superheroes coming together for this hype battle. You have Captain America going to Wakanda to meet Black Panther, Iron Man and Star-Lord trying to make a strategy which seems to be unsuccessful, and you see Spider-Man, which seems to be wearing a different suit, meaning Doctor Strange. But don't get it twisted, Marvel didn't just show different shots of the characters together as sort of a tease. We see actual dialogue between them. We get to see their interactions, which gives us a sense of how their relationships towards one another might help or hinder their objectives. We also get a better look at the villain Thanos. As he is causing destruction on screen, you hear a voiceover of him telling the Avengers, "The end is near." I know I'm not doing the voice any justice, but trust me, it sounds super menacing. We also see a mini struggle between Thanos and Cap right before the screen of the film, or title screen of the film pops up. This trailer is definitely raising my expectations to see this movie, which I don't think is a bad thing. I mean, look at the success that Black Panther is continuing to get, beating box office records that were once held by Marvel Films, and everybody was super excited for that and had high expectations for, and for good reason. Marvel knows exactly what they're doing. I mean, yeah, they had a few letdowns here and there, but overall, they know how to make a great superhero movie. I don't want to ramble on about what my fan theories are for the film or any predictions on certain characters' fates, but I will end with a suggestion to go see this trailer if you have not seen it already. If you weren't hyped for the movie before, I'm pretty sure you'll be hyped after seeing this amazing trailer. That's all I have for the Avengers Infinity War trailer review. Until next time, I'm Rob White.
Whew, thanks, Rob, and I really mean it. Thank you so much for not destroying the universe.
Yeah, but the only thing that went wrong is Idaho sunk into the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, that's on the wrong side of the country.
But who cares about Idaho? We'll get potatoes elsewhere.
Exactly, Eli. Man, I wish we were funny.
Same, but you know who's funny?
Ben Stein? Carrot Top. Brandon?
Stop repeating yourself. Let's just have Noah explain it. Noah?
There's something special about actors that are true comedians. Whether it's Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey, or Jerry Seinfeld, anyone with an eye or two and a sense of humor can appreciate comedy in its purest sense. And this segment is more or less a tribute to a genre, most importantly, the effect of that genre. People say that laughter is the best medicine, and that, above all else, forcing a smile can help more than sitting in silence. However, the comedic genre is full of films that make you do a little more than force a smile. For me, it's rooted in witty, dry humor. For some, it's based in long, set-up jokes. And to pin down what the genre is as a whole would be almost impossible, because everyone has their own sense of humor. I love Step Brothers. I think it's one of the funniest movies ever made. But some people hate it. They can't stand that kind of comedy. Some people think that Dumb and Dumber is the most hilarious piece of film ever devised, and I can't stand it. It's a duality that makes for such a divisive split in a genre that you have to examine films much more closely when you're looking for one to watch. Is it an actor you've seen before? Did you think he or she was funny the first time? Are there any movies you like that are similar to this one? For me, a supporting cast is important. Will Ferrell has John C. Reilly and Kevin Hart. Jim Carrey has had too many funny co-stars to count. Adam Sandler has always been surrounded by people that complement his style of comedy. Along with a good supporting cast, any funny film must be written well. Although a good majority of truly funny scenes are ad-libbed, it takes good writing to set up those moments. A good script and good directors that allow a bit of play in their verbiage sets up trained improvisational actors for great dialogue. Comedy as a film genre has changed the dynamic of other films. We see bits of humor in films that are much more serious, and that's a result of the comedic genre. Even horror films have been hit by that same wave. Now, I think more than ever, films are embracing the idea that people like to laugh, even when they're watching a film to be scared or to feel emotional. And that is why I think everyone should take a step back and appreciate more comedy films. Thanks, guys. I'm Noah Bullard. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Noah. Say, what's your favorite comedy?
Your life.
Well, I guess I'll just throw in the towel now. Shameless plug time.
This week we have marvelous rankings and the greatest movie of 2017.
I hate the circus.
We'll be right back with your final word.
Infinity War is just around the corner and I am so excited. Ever since the release of the first Avengers film, I have been obsessed with Marvel and superheroes in general.
The Greatest Showman, to be clear, is far from one of the worst, absolute worst things I've ever seen. Heck, it's not even the worst major motion picture release I've ever seen. That's got to be The Happening. But it's one of the more baffling.
I typically don't talk about anime on this show because, well, no one cares. But as requested by our lovely EP, I will delve into the amusing and strange world of Japanese animation. I've been watching anime since I was a freshman in high school, and I didn't really have any friends that liked it, but I would always see people online talking about shows they enjoyed, so I decided to test them out for myself. I've watched quite a few series now. Some of my favorites usually involve magic, talking animals, and demons, but today I'm going to talk about Food Wars, a show that doesn't have any of that stuff. Well, maybe a little magic. This show falls into one of my favorite categories of anime because it's kind of like an animated reality TV show. It reminds me of Chopped or Iron Chef and other stuff of that nature. And if you've seen a single episode of The Real Deal, you know I like reality TV. Food Wars follows a scrappy protagonist named Soma, who works at his dad's restaurant. It's Soma's dream to be a professional chef like his dad, but he doesn't exactly have the training he needs. And all he wants to do is take over the restaurant one day. But no matter how hard Soma tries, he can't surpass his dad's magical cooking skills. And I mean magical. In this universe, when food tastes good, you start imagining all of your clothes forcing themselves off of your body. And this happens every time Soma's dad cooks for people. So yeah, this anime might be a little graphic and should be saved for those old enough to see some weird and hilariously suggestive content. But anyway, Soma's dad closes down the restaurant to travel the world and cook with some of the best of the best. Of course, this breaks Soma's heart considering all he ever wanted to do was follow in his dad's footsteps. But things keep on keeping on, and Soma is accepted into a fancy culinary school where only 1% of the students graduate. And psst, his dad went to the school too. Soma just doesn't know that. And in this school, he learns from others, battles it out with his friends, and improves his skills. Has a super Pokemon vibe, but instead of using Pokemon to fight their battles, these young chefs use food. Soma is a very likable protagonist because he uses street smarts and breaks the rules in order to woo judges and friends with his unique flavor combinations, and he also has some pretty cool hair. Even with the weird stuff included, this is a great anime for any first-timers out there that want to get into the genre. It can be easy to be scared of the world of anime considering a lot of what you hear involves tentacles, bizarre merchandise, and stuff like that, but as long as you just take your baby steps, you're certain to find something you enjoy. No matter if you like romance, action, horror, comedy, or adventure, there's a series out there for you. I would suggest browsing Crunchyroll, a free anime streaming service where you can find tons of content to pick and choose from. However, you have some catching up to do when it comes to Food Wars because Season 4 will be out April 9th. That's all this nerd has for you today.
Thank you, Eli. Now, today, I want to talk about something that's sort of on a similar note, although on a much broader scale. My topic for today are review scores. You know, there are many different ways to rank, or people rank films, television shows, music, games, and just about every other facet of entertainment out there. Be it on a scale of 5 stars, a simple yes or no system, or a larger 20 or 100 point scale broken into various categories that culminate in an average total score. Although I personally prefer to let the words speak for themselves, I understand the need for review scores. They allow for simple rankings and organization when comparing various products. These smaller 5-star rankings or yes or no systems, they're fine. They get the job done. What I can't seem to wrap my head around, though, are these massive, broad scales that subjugate every single part of a film by dissecting its various elements instead of just judging it as a whole product. Is the humor important to a comedy film? Of course. Is the camera work smooth and coherent for crisp action set pieces? Are the sound effects bombastic and impactful? Because these are very important facets for action set piece films or war movies. But these subcategories aren't important for other films, and thus can't be used when ranking other entirely different movies. Take some random rom-com, for example. Sure, if the sound is distorted and the camera work looks like it was done by one of those wacky inflatable tube men outside of car dealerships, we'd probably have a problem. But typically, the craft of complex cinematography is thrown to the wayside in those films, instead vying for an acceptable, finely made film in order to make for a simple and clear story. That's its purpose. You know, if it gets the job done without sound or, breathtaking sound design or extreme camera angles, it doesn't make sense for it to get knocked in the end because of it. Setting up specific parameters for every single film and ranking those individually can result in confusing and unbalanced review scores, despite the exact opposite being the intended purpose. Giving an album or a film a score of 9.2 out of 10 because of such intricacies that held it back from such a prestigious score of a 9.3, these are divisive, not helpful, and overly completely incoherent. They simply bring about the arguments of why a specific film was rated 0.2 points higher than another for no reason. Because these wide scores and subcategories overcomplicate the process. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to subtweet or throw shade at anyone. Okay, organizations of all shapes and sizes across the globe choose scales much like the ones that I'm describing, and I understand that there are various reasons behind all of these decisions. But it is my strong opinion that these scales are backwards and trivializing. They hurt a potentially well-worded critique by labeling it with such specific boundaries or numbers, completely negating everything that was previously said. They crowd and confuse the market, they look completely ludicrous when broken down, and they simply just don't make sense from film to film. I believe that we should take every product as it is and try to coordinate their quality on an easy to follow and easily rankable scale. Now, I know you at home may disagree with me, and I entirely understand that. Additionally, I know that it may be hard to formulate an opinion as to how broken these scales are without seeing it firsthand. So, if you can help me out here, Eli. Without further ado, to illustrate my example, I present to you the Real Deal Restaurant Review Roundup. Now, today, we will be reviewing Red Lobster, Applebee's, and Olive Garden. Do these restaurants claim to be anything like one another? No, they certainly do not, but hey, we'll review them all with the same categories anyway. Those categories, of course, being appetizers, endless options, and staff morale. Now you see, Red Lobster scores a 9.7 out of 10 for their delicious appetizers, leading the pack due to their cheddar biscuits, but failing for their lack of endless options beyond the temporary shrimp bonanza. Their staff was friendly, however, which bumped them up quite a bit. Applebee's stumbles right out of the gate with some mediocre appetizers, temporary uses of all-you-can-eat meals, and the fact that the wait staff brings you your meal wrapped in a copy of the Washington Post that was being held in their boxers. Finally, Olive Garden does well on their appetizers due to their breadsticks, but not to the level of Red Lobster, as we all know. But they blow away the competition on their endless meal options. Finally, the staff had a warm demeanor that made me feel welcomed, allowing a score to reflect that. Now, when dissecting all of these restaurants based on their merits, Red Lobster is the clear winner. But I think we all know that doesn't make any sense. Because as we all know, Olive Garden is the clear champion when judged as an entire product. Olive Garden, when you're here, your family. Judging these chains based on such categories resulted in a final verdict of a best choice that is lacking in every way compared to its competitor, who ranked lower. And this, friends, is why we need to stop with overly complicated review scores. Never forget, Red Lobster's endless options pales heavily in comparison to Olive Garden's well-rounded infrastructure. Don't let its outstanding appetizers fool you. Judge products as they are. All right, make the world a better place. And Olive Garden, for crying out loud, please sponsor us already. We will do anything.
Angelo, were you hungry when you wrote this?
No. Maybe. That's not the point.
Then what's the point?
The point is, if you want more from The Real Deal, check out our website, Facebook, and Twitter pages for news and updates on all things entertainment. I'm Angelo Ariana.
And I'm Eli Brunsman. We'll see you next time.